Honorable members, let us pray. Almighty God, we humbly beseech thee to look with favor upon this Parliament of the Republic of Ghana. Grant that it may perform its high duty as in thy sight. Give divine guidance to the President of the Republic. Endow members of Parliament and ministers of state with discernment and vision, integrity and courage, that through the labors of government, this land and people may be well and truly served, and our good purposes for the common human life be realized in our midst. O God, grant us a vision of our country, fair as it might be, a country of righteousness, where none shall wrong his neighbor, a country of plenty, where evil and poverty shall be done away with, a country of brotherhood. Honorable members, in view of time constraints, we will proceed straight away to formal communication by the Speaker. Honorable members, yesterday I had the pleasure and honor of receiving the leadership of the Queen Mothers Association in the country. They were led by the president of the association, the Queen Mother of the Offenso traditional area. As a result of that, I did not observe the early part of the proceedings of the appointment committee. This morning, my attention was drawn to a few things. And I've come to deliver an apology on behalf of the Parliament of the Republic of Ghana to their lordships and ladyships, the members of the judiciary who were present during the proceedings of the Appointments Committee held for the vetting of the nominee for the office of Chief Justice. Honorable members, this, as I mentioned, was brought to my attention, and they referred to certain comments and conduct of some honorable members during the said proceedings, which may have appeared discourteous or disrespectful to the distinguished members of the judiciary in attendance. Such conduct, though not representative of the collective will of Parliament, is regrettable and inconsistent with the decorum expected of members under the standing orders of the Parliament of Ghana. Honorable members, the standing orders enjoins members to maintain order and decorum in the House and in committee, and to refrain from the use of offensive, insulting, or unbecoming language. In particular, Order 123, Rule 3, cautions members against imputing improper motives or using words that are disrespectful or likely to cause offense. The standing orders serve as a reminder that our proceedings must always reflect the dignity and integrity of Parliament as a key organ of state. As Speaker, I wish to reaffirm Parliament's unwavering respect for the judiciary as a co-equal arm of government under Article 125, Clause 1 of the 1992 Constitution, which vests the judiciary power of Ghana in the judiciary. And the judiciary is independent of control or direction from any person or authority. The doctrine of separation of powers requires that all three arms of government, the executive, legislature, and judiciary, relate to one another with mutual respect and restraint. Consequently, I have directed the leadership of the Appointments Committee to take note of this incident and to ensure that in all future proceedings, the highest standards of civility, objectivity, and institutional respect are maintained. Honorable members, Parliament cherishes the long-standing spirit of cooperation and mutual regard between our institutions. We must remain committed to strengthening that relationship in the collective service of the people of Ghana and the protection of our constitutional democracy. Honorable members, once again, on your behalf, I extend our deepest apologies and assurances of Parliament's continued respect for the judiciary and its esteemed members. I want to assure all of you that I'll come back on this issue of decency, discipline, and decorum. And this time, I'm coming with the hammer, not the gavel. I thank you for your attention. We now take item 6, correction of votes and proceedings and official reports. Honorable members, we'll start with the correction of votes and proceedings of Friday, 7th November 2025, page 1. Page 2. Page 3. Page 4. Page 5. Page 6. Page 7. Honorable member, are you on your feet to make correction? Page 7. Page 8. Page 9. Page 10. Yes, honorable member.
Speaker, I'm extremely grateful. Speaker, item 11, page 10, Roman numeral 1. The third line That's A. Not available. After the word available, we should insert the word in before there. Then again, the amendment advertised in the name of the committee chairman by my colleague Edem Agbana. The next name, which is Isaac Boamanyako. Boamanyako is a hyphenated name. So if that could also be corrected. Thank you.
Honorable Member, you mentioned page 10. And you said item 11. I don't have
Okay,
that.
Speaker, item 11
Page 10.
had a continuation at page 10, which is Roman numeral I, or 1.
Also, page 9, item 11, which continues at page 10. That's what you are referring to.
I'm properly guided, Speaker, exactly so.
Okay. And you said whose name is compound?
That's Isaac Boamanyako. Isaac Boamanyako.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, sir.
Yes. Were you up on your feet on the same corrections?
Yes, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you. Page 11. Page 12. Yes, Honorable.
Mr. Speaker, sorry about that. I have one on page 13, not 12 rather. So
we
12
move
now
to
is
page
13.
13.
Mr. 13 under motion. Under motion that this honorable house do now adjourn. We should insert house after honorable. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, table office, omission of house. Kindly take note. Yes.
Mr. Speaker, page 13, as I would reckon, there was supposed to be an amendment captured. That amendment was proposed by me and it was carried. And that's what captured in the order paper. I'm just wondering, seeking your guidance, whether that being contained in the official report suffices or should find expression in the order paper, because it was a substantive amendment for a deletion of a certain provision of the bill. And specifically, Mr. Speaker, the proposed amendment was to delete C from clause 5 of the proposed bill. I understand it to be part of the official report, but because we are capturing key events and it has to do with amendment, and the order paper captures amendment, I'm just seeking your guidance whether or not being contained in the official report suffices or it should find expression in the order paper. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
It should find expression in the votes and proceedings. Yes. Yes, so if that actually happened yesterday, table office kindly capture the amendment, and whether it was carried, you'd say so, and whether it was negated, you also state so. Kindly take note. Honorable members, page 13 is the last page. It's from the Amanfrom Presby Basic School. There are 61 in number, led by one Martin Ewa. And this group resides in the Abuakwa South constituency. Please, may you be on your feet. What I see up there, some are just down. And so the number, I started doubting whether you were up to 61. But now I see the young ones also standing there. Because of your height, you are not too visible. You are warmly welcome, and we are happy to have you here. And I believe that the team we have will take you around. There's a lot to learn, and this is a memorable day for you for life. You will always recollect it. We thank you for coming. May you resume your seat. We also have Children's Future School, led by the head teacher himself, and there are 101. The name of the head teacher is Yevuga Wolanyo Kofi. Please, you are also warmly welcome to Parliament. You may resume your seat. The last but not the least, we have Uncle Rich School. They are led by the head.
Order 767 of our standing orders. Providing for the order of business. And it says that the business for a sitting as presented by the Business Committee and adopted by the House shall be set out in the order paper and transacted in the following orders. 67(1)(u) indicates that at this point, we have reached the point when a complaint of contempt of Parliament or breach of parliamentary privilege can be made. It is after correction and adoption of votes and proceedings, which you have just completed. So, Mr. Speaker, I ask for leave to make a complaint of breach of parliamentary privilege, and it is based on facts that are well known to this House. But the rules say I must inform you, and Speaker will recall that I did inform you before coming into the chamber that I will raise a question of breach of parliamentary privilege and contempt of Parliament. So, Mr. Speaker, if I have your leave, I'll proceed to put forth the facts which found the complaint that I'm going to lay before this House.
You are raising point of order, Honorable Minority Chief Whip, or why are you on your feet?
Speaker, with respect, the leader a while ago referenced Order 67, and he further went ahead to conclude on Order 67(u). Speaker, the practice in this House, as I do know, and Speaker, we are at your guidance, we have business for the day advertised. If you proceed further to look at Order 67.2, as you got with your leave, 67.2 says, the order of business set out in the order paper may, by the leave of the Speaker, be varied at any sitting. My observation is, once we have business advertised on the order paper, if it is the pleasure of the leader of the House to seek the leave of the Speaker to vary it, he should rather be coming under Order 67.2 and seek your leave for that leave to be granted. But respect, he rather quoted 67, and straight ahead he went to settle on 67U. And Speaker, we will need your guidance here. So he's not making that application properly. My point of view, I may be wrong, but he should rather come under 67.2 and seek your leave, and then he can proceed. I thank you, Speaker.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, the order says that at the time appointed in the order of business for making complaints of contempt of Parliament or breach of parliamentary privilege, a member, after having notified you prior, may make the complaint or raise a question of breach of parliamentary privilege. If you look at the order of business, under Order 67, it goes up to about 30 different items. Now, if you look at the items, you will see that after correction of votes and proceedings, an official report, which is 1Q. What follows is statement by the Speaker. Statement by the Speaker. Presentation of business statement. Statements by ministers. Then complaints of contempt of Parliament or breach of parliamentary privilege. So, Speaker, if you look at our order paper today, clearly, you have, instead of making a statement, gone ahead to make a formal communication to the House. So I did not anticipate that Speaker will be making any statement under 67(1)(r). I have no plans today, Mr. Speaker, to present the business statement. No minister has given me any indication as leader of government business that he or she plans to make a statement to the House. So clearly, these three items listed in Order 67(1)(r)(s)(t) will not happen. And so, automatically, we are at item 67(1)(u), which is complaints of contempt of Parliament or breach of parliamentary privilege. And our rules say, at that point, I can seek your leave if I have given you prior notice And even if I haven't given you prior notice, I can seek your leave, and you may grant me the opportunity to make a complaint of contempt of Parliament or breach of parliamentary privilege. So, Mr. Speaker, the timing and my request for audience clearly fall within our standing orders. No breach of our standing orders can be claimed by anyone.
Yes, Minority Deputy Whip.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, as much as we don't know the nature of the contempt the majority leader seek to make, but the approach and the way he's coming before you, Mr. Speaker, is wrong. Mr. Speaker, if you read Order 67 as the majority leader quoted, even the heading is Order of Business. Mr. Speaker, and 67.1, like he said, the business of a sitting as presented by the business committee and adopted by the House shall be set out in an order paper and transacted in the following manner. Mr. Speaker, we have an order paper today. And this order paper, nothing is captured on this order paper as in you, where he will now make an application before you to vary, to make such a statement. And also, Mr. Speaker, he presented the business statement to us on Friday. There was never any indication that such matter will rise. So if the matter just suddenly arisen, then he should look for the proper order to appear before you, for you to grant him leave. But, Mr. Speaker, I strongly make the point that the order that he quoted to seek for your leave is wrong. There is nothing captured on today's order paper that talks about contempt issue where you have to vary or you have to look at the order now. It is not captured on our order paper. So the proper standing order, the majority leader should look for it and then appear before you properly. If it is a matter that has suddenly arisen that he wants to appear before you, there are ways that he can do it. If we come under order 93.1, when we get to time of statement, where you want to make a matter of urgent public importance, which constitutes the conduct of a member that you think that must appear before the privileges committee, then you do so. But on our order paper today, there is nothing there for you to vary and jump to you. Nothing is captured. So for that matter, Mr. Speaker, he's not properly before you, and I think that the majority leader should be ruled out and the right thing should be done. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable members, this is a very simple matter. I don't know why it has generated a debate. Honorable members, my understanding of what the majority leader has done is to seek my leave. To draw my attention to a purported conduct or act of contempt of Parliament. And he proceeded to tell you the steps he has taken before now seeking the leave. And the first step was to give me prior information, that is notice, which he referred to. And the second is to get out on the floor to seek the leave. Why is he seeking the leave? He's seeking the leave because on the order paper, we don't have item there referring to contempt of Parliament. If we had the item on the order paper, then there will be no need for him to seek leave. because it's already on the order paper. But when it's not on the order paper, you have to seek leave. The timing which he did was to look at what is said on the order paper vis-à-vis the standing orders. And you know from the order paper, we try to follow the order as set out in the standing orders. And so when you go through prayers, roll call, national pledge, message from the president, all those are said because of time constraints. We couldn't go through roll call, national pledge, and the rest. Then the item I took was 5, formal communication by the Speaker, which is captured in the Standing Orders 67(1)G. And so you follow down. And so when you follow through and you see that something that is captured in the order is not appearing on the order paper, but you want to raise it on the floor, then you now seek the leave of the Speaker. If it is on the order paper, you don't seek the leave of the Speaker again because it's there. And that is what he did. And so you see that after my formal communication, if you go through the rest, the next item from all the rest is what he has raised after the correction and adoption of votes and proceedings and official reports is what? Complaints, because we don't have any statement because I made my formal communication. Presentation of business statements, there's nothing like that. Then statements by ministers, there's nothing. So the next one is complaints of contempt of parliament or breach of parliamentary privilege. And that is why he stood up to seek my leave, because that item is not captured on the order paper. If it were captured on the order paper, I will refer to it, and there will be no need for him to seek my leave again. So the majority leader has not done anything out of order. He is in order, and I'll grant him the leave to raise the issue. Please, majority leader, you may do so now.
Mr. Speaker, our standing orders provide in Order 31, which deals with specific acts of contempt of Parliament or breach of parliamentary privilege. But even before then, we have Order 30, which describes, Order 30 says, an act or omission which A, obstructs or impedes Parliament in the performance of the functions of Parliament, B, obstructs or impedes the Speaker, a member, or an officer of Parliament in the discharge of the duty of the Speaker, member, or the officer, and C, affronts the dignity of Parliament, or D, tends either directly or indirectly to produce a result referred to in paragraphs A, B, or C. Then 31 deals with the specific acts of contempt of Parliament or breach of parliamentary privilege. 31O specifically is what I intend to base my complaint on. 31O says, any of the following acts or conduct constitutes contempt of Parliament or breach of parliamentary privilege. O, any act or omission which affronts the dignity or authority of Parliament, or which tends either directly or indirectly to bring the name of Parliament into disrepute. So an act that affronts the dignity or authority of Parliament, or which tends either directly or indirectly to produce indirectly to bring the name of Parliament into disrepute. Mr. Speaker, I think somewhere on the 22nd of July, this House passed a resolution constituting the delegation of Ghana to the ECOWAS Parliament, ECOWAS Community Parliament. Mr. Speaker, if you recall, we had removed the name of the minority leader, Honorable Afenyo-Markin Alexander Kwamina, member for Efutu, from the list of Ghana's delegation to the ECOWAS Community Parliament. So, Speaker, this resolution of this Parliament was communicated to the ECOWAS Parliament by, I believe, your good self. Mr. Speaker, the ECOWAS Parliament convened to sit in Port Harcourt in Nigeria from the 25th to the 28th of September 2025. That's Port Harcourt in the River State of Nigeria from 25th to 28th September 2025. Mr. Speaker, this Parliament's delegation, as constituted by our resolution, went to Port Harcourt and they met the Honorable Afenyo-Markin Alexander Kwamina sitting there and refusing to give way as directed by this Parliament. Indeed, whilst our nominated delegation were there, and it was time to swear in members, the ECOWAS Parliament refused to swear in Ghana's delegation. They refused to swear in Ghana's delegation and said that they will not, then caved in and swore in four members of our delegation. Mr. Speaker, the Honorable Afenyo-Markin Alexander Kwamina was at that session of the ECOWAS Parliament, attended that session of the ECOWAS Parliament in clear defiance of a resolution of this Parliament. In clear defiance of a resolution of this Parliament. That is why, Mr. Speaker, I have cited the provisions of Order 31-0, which says that any act or omission which affronts the dignity or authority of Parliament, Mr. Speaker, and let me emphasize, authority of Parliament, any act that affronts the authority of the Parliament of Ghana or produces any such effect, constitutes contempt of Parliament and a breach of parliamentary privilege. Mr. Speaker, by defying this Parliament resolution removing him from the delegation to the ECOWAS Parliament and actually going to Port Harcourt and attending the session, Mr. Speaker, he has clearly affronted the dignity and engaged in an act that constitutes an affront to the authority of this Parliament. And it is time that the Honorable Afenyo-Markin be put in his proper place. Mr. Speaker, I therefore rise pursuant to the relevant orders to make a complaint of contempt of Parliament and a breach of parliamentary privilege, and to urge you, pursuant to the appropriate orders, to refer the Honorable Afenyo-Markin Alexander Kwamina to the Privileges Committee for him to be processed. And if indeed the committee comes to a conclusion that my contention that he indeed went and attended the session in clear defiance of our resolution, and that that act constitutes an affront to the authority of this House, that the appropriate sanctions be executed in relation to the Honorable Alexander Kwamina Afenyo-Markin. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable members, you have heard the complaint of contempt being laid before all of us. The rules are clear. I'll have to come back to the House as to my view on this matter before I decide whether to refer it to the committee or not to refer to the committee. So I have that decision to make, and I need to consider it before I do so. So I will take the whole of today to consider the complaint, and tomorrow I will then communicate my decision to the House. The House Yes, honorable members, I think we've had enough of exchanges on this matter. The rules are very clear. In drafting these rules, we took it becomes an order. And there must be exceptional reasons why the person will not be able to attend. By the way some of them write the letters, they don't attach seriousness to the work we do here. And so, please, ministers, kindly get in touch. This was discussed and is being raised again. It means it's of concern to the House. So please, let's try to resolve it. But the practicality of the system we have now is such that the bureaucracy is still weak. Bureaucracy is still weak. The administration is not that responsive. And the same applies to Parliament. We are also not too responsive to queries from the public as a result of the capacity of the bureaucracy. So let's take this in good faith, but try as much as possible to enforce compliance to our standing orders. Yes, Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we'll take that on board. Unfortunately, the Ministry of Environment does not have a deputy minister, and so that is one constraint. Secondly, the Ministry of Employment also does not have a deputy minister. In this instance, the minister just tells me that the question actually got to them on Friday, and he was not even in the country on Friday, but he received the communication and gave instructions that the Chief Director should request for rescheduling so that he can adequately prepare and provide the appropriate answers. But we'll take on board all the concerns raised by honorable members, and we will make sure that ministers attend as scheduled, and if there's a very good reason why we should reschedule, we'll consider it as a House. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, please.
Speaker, we want to assure the leader that we'll give him the maximum cooperation. But we will not compromise on the ministers coming to this House to answer questions. That we will not compromise on. And we would demand an official correspondence. No. You were once here. That was your seat. That was your seat. So, what is that? You can speak. We are saying that you have to come to the House. And so we will support you, but
11th. So we are not out of the 3 weeks. And the letter clearly stated that at the time they received the question, the minister was out of the jurisdiction. And so how come it was scheduled without consulting the minister again to know whether the minister is available or not available and to answer? So this is something that I said is a weakness of the bureaucracy we have to work on. So please, Minister, you want to have a bite?
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. I just wanted to state for the record that as a fifth-time member of Parliament, a former deputy leader of this House, I take the business of this House very seriously. And in fact, it is the reason why when the information reached me and I look at the time limit, the questions that must be answered, I felt it was important that I extend it so I can prepare properly and come to this House. That's how serious I take this House. And so I think that it's important as we discuss this, that the clerk must also look at the time of communication and what time the ministers will have to prepare for the question. In this particular case, if you look at Friday and consider the fact that I was not in the country and arriving on Monday, and I'm expected to come on Tuesday to answer. And in fact, I don't simply take the questions as has been given to me by the civil servants. I probe further, I ask questions, so that I'm sure that when I come here, I can give the right answers. And so, Mr. Speaker, I think that's why, but we take the business of this House very seriously.
Thank you so much. Yes, as a former leader, that's the right thing to do. Honorable members, I have correspondence confirming the date that the Minister for Finance will appear before the House to present of His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama for the 2026 financial year on Thursday, 13th November 2026. I respectfully seek your kind approval to facilitate the necessary arrangements for the presentation to proceed. Please accept the assurances of my highest consideration. Dr. Kesiel Atuf Forsen, MP, Minister. Honorable members, let me also acknowledge the presence of the Assembly members from Ahanta West Municipality. They are led by the presiding member, Honorable Isaac Bassau. And they are coming from the Ahanta West constituency. They are 49 in number. Honorable members, you are welcome to Parliament. I know you are itching to be here. So it's good you've started coming to get a feel of it. And we ourselves are preparing to come to you to see how the two could work together to build up to be able to work at the local level and get the assemblies to be more efficient and more effective than we have now. Because governments will be sending much more money to the assemblies, and those monies should be properly utilized to the benefit of the people. So we are happy that you find time to come, and on behalf of the House, I warmly welcome you. Please take time and go through the process, and before you leave here, you'll be better than you came in. Thank you so much for coming. You may resume your seats. Yes, I've just been prompted about the timing. The sitting of the House, as you know, is 2 p.m. And so the budget too will be at 2 p.m. We will be doing a few things in the morning. And so the minister will appear at 2 to present the budget statement. Yes, Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, with respect, you just read to us the letter received from the Minister of Finance regarding the 2026 budget statement, which is to be read or presented on Thursday. Mr. Speaker, you may be aware that you admitted a motion, which motion seeks to invite this House to determine Order 1952. Mr. Speaker, this motion has been appearing on the order paper since 11th of March, and even today, it is at page 7, entitled Motion 16, and with your leave, I read that pursuant to Order 127 of the Standing Orders, the Right Honorable Speaker reviews the ruling made on the 11th of March 2025, dismissing an application made by Honorable Habib in accordance with Order 1952, seeking the indulgence of the House to determine the form in which the Minister of Finance was to present the budget statement and economic policy of government for the 2025 financial year. Mr. Speaker, with respect, I submit that this motion is dealt with so that you give your ruling, and if your ruling in one way or the other directs which form the budget is to be presented, then indeed the House will be bound by that clarity given by you as the Speaker, and then we can make progress. Mr. Speaker, that is all my prayer on this rising. Thank you.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I think the Business Committee did program the motion as one of the businesses that may be conducted by this House this week. Of course, once Right Honourable Speaker has admitted it, we may try and take it. But I do not think there's any doubt regarding how the budget is to be presented. I think the standing orders dealing with this matter are very clear. Order 197 talks about presentation of annual budget statement. I think the dispute is whether it should be by motion or by a statement. If I recall, that was the main issue. But Order 195 is quite clear. And I think, Right Honourable Speaker, you gave a ruling on the matter. I think what is being pursued is a review of your decision, if I recall. So the legal position is quite clear. It is a request for review that is pending. So I don't think there's any problem as to how and the form in which the budget should come to this House. Be that as it may, Mr. Speaker, I don't know if space will permit us between now and Thursday to take that motion. But, Mr. Speaker, this is a matter entirely for you to determine. You determine the business of the House.
So I just want to put it in this perspective, that we've not gone to sleep on this. The Majority Leader himself is aware the number of times we have insisted that we should deal with this thing together with motion 15. And the last time, on last Friday, I made a point here that if we had found space to determine motion 15, perhaps there would be no need at all to raise another matter regarding whether or not, when there's a pending matter in court, Parliament is stopped or otherwise. So, Mr. Speaker, we have been very vigilant and been pursuing, particularly these two motions. So if, by the grace of God, tomorrow is available, we've always been prepared. We would make our case in this court, in this honourable House, for Mr. Speaker to make his determination, so that Thursday there wouldn't be the need to now go through the matter again. We haven't suddenly woken up to put pressure for this motion to be considered with respect. Thank you so much, sir.
Honourable members, may we proceed? We're at item 7. Questions. We have 10 questions. Majority Leader, yes?
Mr. Speaker, I want to ask for your indulgence so that we can just lay items in 9, 9C, please. What the Minister, C? 9C, and then 9D also, just the two items, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable members, there's an application for us to vary the order of business and start with public business now. I grant leave for that. And you want private business?
No, Mr. Speaker, I just wanted to respond to the application.
Yes.
Speaker, with respect, the majority leader knows that, yes, he leaves the House, but we engage. A surprise that he's springing on us. We don't want to say it's one of his several surprises, because he to spring has many weapons under his armpit. You don't know when he's unleashing. So, Mr. Speaker, we are here. So, dealing with him, he must always be alert, and will always be alert. Much as we are not opposed to this application, we want to urge upon him to ensure that he does disclosure. Even in a criminal trial, the rule is that ab initio, disclose all your weapons, even in a criminal trial. Mr. Speaker, I rest my case there.
Honorable members, item 9, at the commencement of public business, presentation of papers. The following papers will be presented: 9A, by the majority leader.
Report of the Auditor General on the technical and forensic audit on the Central Service Management Portal and metric app of the National Service Authority.
Honorable members, the said report is referred to the Public Accounts Committee for consideration and report to the House. Majority Leader, yes.
Mr. Speaker, if my friends on the other side are not opposed, we could allow one of the ministers present to also just lay item 9B before the Minister for Land lays his.
Yes, minority from bench. 9B.
Okay. Yes, please proceed.
Honorable members, 9B, Roman 1 and Roman 2.
Half-year Audit Committee report on the births and deaths registry for the period 1st January to 30th June 2025. Annual statement by the Audit Committee of the Nanumba North Municipal Assembly for the year 2024.
Honorable members, the said half-year Audit Committee report and annual statement by the Audit Committee are referred to the Committee on Local Government and Rural Development for consideration and report to the House. Yes.
Speaker, a while ago, the majority leader sought your leave for the Lands Minister to lay the paper for and on behalf of the local government minister. And Speaker, I wish to come under order 97.3. 97.3. Speaker, with your leave, a short explanatory statement shall be made by the person presenting the paper where requested by the House or a member upon the presentation. As we I humbly request the minister to do the needful. He should do the needful.
Honourable Member, you referred to Order 97.
Order 97.3.
3.
Yes. A short
Now,
explanation.
97.3 says, a short explanatory statement shall be made by the person presenting a paper where requested by the House or a member upon the presentation. So it's not automatic. You have to request.
So I am actually requesting the minister.
Please. Your request came after I had finished with that. We've gone to the next item. You were not timeous. That is the issue.
With respect, in this house, the rules, you interpret the rules.
Yes.
As the practice has always been that application is made before the referral is done. Yes, as I was timeous, and I was just waiting patiently. So I'm on all fours. So I'm on all fours. So I do respect.
I am very clear on this
request.
matter. When the majority leader requested, in fact, he even referred to you. He says his friends opposite, whether they will not object to another minister presenting the paper on behalf of the Minister for Local Government, Chieftaincy, and Religious Affairs. Luckily, you stood up and said you have no objection. And so I read and he laid. Then I went to the next item. And that is when you then rose up to try to submit. And I said, you are not timeous. The time he laid was the time you should have requested for him to say something as a short explanatory statement. You understand?
Speaker, with respect.
But you didn't do that.
Speaker, with respect. If the minister doesn't lay the paper, I will not have a basis
That
to
is
come
what
under
I said. Exactly what I said. I said immediately he laid the paper. That's when you should have asked. He has laid it. Honorable Member, maybe you were not paying attention. Maybe you were not paying attention. Majority Leader.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, I saw the drama because I faced this side. I saw the drama on that side. Mr. Speaker, I can tell you what I saw. He got up and had no objection to the paper being laid by the Lands Minister on behalf of the local government. He had no objection. And in not objecting, he didn't add any conditions. But afterwards, I saw the order paper being ferried to him. The order paper, the rules were ferried to him, and then, you know, he saw the opportunity. He saw the opportunity, believing that being the minister not responsible for that sector, the minister might have challenges. But, Mr. Speaker, these are statutory reports, statutory audit reports. And this House has been laying and referring those statutory audit reports to the various committees. So I don't think that we should belabor the point, Mr. Speaker. We still have 10 questions to ask. And if we make it difficult for question time to start, we will have a backlog of 300 questions. And then every day we'll complain about the 300 questions. So I think we should let business proceed.
Yes.
Speaker, with respect, my leader just made a comment which I find quite unfortunate. I have my rules books with me always. This is the standing order, and this is the Constitution of the Republic. I carry them every time, every day. They are in my bag. So don't say that the rules were just fair to me. No, majority leader, no. I take offense in that. I'm a dutiful member of Parliament. I pay attention to processes on the floor. So don't say the rules were just fair to me. I knew what I was doing. I knew what I was doing. I won't belabor the point. I won't belabor the point. But the point was that if you don't lay it, how do I come in to activate 97.3? I would not. You can't put, I can't put nothing on nothing. It can't be done. But whatever it is, we will not litigate on this matter. It should proceed. It should proceed, and that is how magnanimous we can get. Proceed and execute your business. I always carry my standing orders. I always carry my constitution. Please, I wish you take notice of that. You see me always carry my orders. So don't say they were just very to me. Because that's not right.
Honorable minority, Chief Whip, I always see you carry your standing orders and constitution. And in fact, this morning you referred to it a number of times. That is true. The only place I disagree with you, and I'm trying to draw your attention, is that after the paper is laid, then you make your request. Now, when you don't make your request, and now I have referred the paper to the committee, and then you are now coming back, because I've already referred to the committee and said they should go and consider and report to the House. Then you now request. Then I say, oh, it's belated. That is my response. I'm not saying that you should make the request before the paper is laid. No, that is not proper. Immediately after it's laid, you make your request. But the minister is here, and as you said, these are routine audit reports. So you don't need much to say than what is stated there. But you've made your point. Let's move on to item 9C by the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources. Sorry. You want to draw his attention?
Mr. Speaker, equity, as you just said, does not favor the indolent. We must not come too late in the day. Since you've mentioned 9C, fortunately, 9C. No, it's not been late. We did 9B. You don't bring confusion. It's 9C. Mr. Speaker just mentioned 9C. 9C, Mr. Speaker, it is being done, fortunately, by the minister himself. So, if it pleases the chair, I shall invoke Order 97.3 of the rules of this House and pray that the minister act in terms of Order 97.3. Mr. Speaker, the reason for this is because this lease agreement is a very important matter of national interest. The Speaker may recall that in the 8th Parliament, this matter came up, and our friends who are in government today had serious issues for all of us to deal with. Mr. Speaker, if today a thing like this has come back and they've gone to sign a new agreement and all, Mr. Speaker, my understanding is that the agreement has seen some amendments. Whatever it is, I would beg of the minister to give a short explanatory statement on this. Mr. Speaker, the mere fact that the presentation of papers is procedural does not mean, Mr. Speaker, that members of this House cannot interrogate the matter before being referred. That is why, Mr. Speaker, if you look at Order 97.5, it provides that the Speaker may refer the paper to the relevant committee where appropriate. May refer. It does not, what that tells us is that where in the wisdom of Mr. Speaker, the paper will require further executive or ministerial action, Mr. Speaker may direct, if not persuaded, to say that, look, Minister, take this back and do the needful. It is not automatic, else the provision would have read shall. The provision there is not shall. It doesn't provide a mandatory obligation on the Speaker. Mr. Speaker has a discretion, and that discretion is to suggest that where it is imprudent for such a paper to be referred, Mr. Speaker will not. So, Mr. Speaker, if you read this 97.5, 3 and 1 together, it gives you a clear understanding what the intent of the drafters of this regulation wanted us to do. The paper must have sufficient copies distributed. Do we have sufficient copies distributed? If so, when a member sees the need to request that the minister makes a short explanatory statement which would cover the key areas of the subject matter, that's the rule says that it's mandatory, you must. Then upon that, Mr. Speaker may then decide, no, what you have done is not persuasive enough, please take it back and come back. So there's no automaticity rule. There's nothing like that that is automatic. Once you present a paper, it will be referred. That is not there. So, Mr. Speaker, this is a new matter. We've never dealt with a thing like this in this House. And I would pray that the minister obliges my prayer so that we can make progress. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, the Minority Leader is clearly out of order. Out of order because the order is very clear. A short explanatory statement, short, in fact, it could be as short as one sentence. It says short. So the minister can get up and say that as a result of new developments, it has become necessary to bring it back for Parliament to reconsider it. That is a short explanatory memorandum. But, Mr. Speaker, it says a short explanatory statement shall be made by the person presenting a paper where requested by the House or a member upon the presentation. Mr. Speaker, what I thought he would be asking you to interpret, at what stage will we say that the presentation has been made? At which point a member can then get up and request for an explanatory memorandum, a short explanatory statement. So I don't recall that the presentation has been done yet. It hasn't been done. And you're already on your feet asking the minister to make a short statement. And you are not just asking the minister to make a short statement. You have proceeded to engage in a jurisprudence of interpreting the rules to the Speaker, explaining what the rule means, and that's not important. Wait, when the presentation is made, then your rights kick in. You ask for a short statement, and the statement could be as short as a sentence, and then we move on.
Honorable members, the difficulty we have here is that some of us are suffering from confirmation bias. Confirmation bias. You have some ideas in your head. Whatever is said is of no essence. You don't hear it. You have to say something to confirm what you have in your head. We've gone through this process. And in fact, when the minority chief whip spoke, and I explained it, he was nodding his head. And the process is that when I call the paper, it has to be laid. When it's laid, then a member can get up and ask the person laying to make a short explanatory statement. Before I call on the committee to go and consider and report back to the House. We've gone through this step by step. We have gone to the next item. It's not yet been laid. And then the person who is to lay it is already being called upon to give a short explanatory statement. That is a case of confirmation bias. So whatever you say, you don't listen. Please, let's be doing this in this House. We devoted time for a study of these standing orders. We had a workshop. And now you come and we sit and we're not going through it, guidance, this and that, this and that. And Ghanaians are watching and willing to see business of the House. Then we are still learning our rules, our procedures. That is not good enough. Please, let's proceed. Minister, lay the paper.
Mining lease agreement between the government of the Republic of Ghana, represented by the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, and Barari DV Ghana Limited, for the mining of lithium and other minerals at Mankasim, 42.63 kilometer 2 in the Infantiman district in the Central Region.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, I rise in terms of Order 97.3 and pray that the Minister provides an explanatory statement in respect of the paper he just presented.
Yes, Minister.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, as you know, the lease was presented indeed in the 8th Parliament for ratification pursuant to Article 268(1) of the 1992 Constitution and Section 5(4) of Act 703. But it was not ratified before the House adjourned. Since then, the basis in which the agreement, especially the price of lithium, at the time of the negotiation was about $3,000. Price of lithium had fallen, the current price to about $630, making the project really at risk in going forward. The company appealed that if they were to go forward, certain key provisions must be looked at. Indeed, it was very clear and public knowledge that lithium prices had fallen. We took advantage of, at the time, the high lithium prices of $3,000 to, for example, move beyond the normal royalty of 5% and move it to 10% and other provisions. Based on their request, 3 key areas has been looked at: the royalty rate adjustment, VAT deferral on capital inputs, and sub-on transshipment facility feasibility. These 3 areas were new areas that has been factored, and that called for us to look at the new lease. The new lease has been negotiated, sent to cabinet for approval, and we are here in Parliament to get ratification in accordance with Article 268 of the 1992 Constitution. I thank you.
Honorable members, I accordingly refer the mining lease agreement, which is referred to as new, to the Committee on Lands and Forestry for consideration and report to the House. Yes, please.
Mr. Speaker, you seem to have referred the agreement to the committee. And so I don't know, Mr. Speaker, respectfully, I don't know whether the point I'm about to make will find favor with you. Now, Mr. Speaker, when you read Order 97, 1 to 6, the totality of it, the combined effect of 97, 1 to 6, is to the effect that the Speaker has a discretion either to admit the laying and do the referral or not. The Speaker, with the greatest of respect, I was in this House in the 8th Parliament, and I was called upon to give a similar explanatory statement for the laying of the agreement for the exploitation of our lithium resources between these same two parties, the government of Ghana and Barari DV Ghana Limited. Mr. Speaker, yourself, as the Speaker of the 8th Parliament, took particular interest in that agreement. Mr. Speaker, you even had an occasion to invite me to your chamber and nudge me that we're required to carry the whole country with us because of the importance of this agreement, the importance of the mineral, lithium. Mr. Speaker, I need not point out the controversy it generated in our country. Mr. Speaker, so the point I was going to, the invitation I was going to make of you is that the application, the effort we made in the 8th Parliament to lay an agreement for the exploitation of the lithium resources between the same two parties, the government of Ghana and Barari BV, which was rejected by this House. We could not lay it, and it was not referred to a committee. Mr. Speaker, the explanatory statement made by the current Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Mr. Speaker, the terms of it, the terms of the explanatory statement is not different from the terms of the explanatory statement I made in this House as Minister for Lands and Natural Resources. Mr. Speaker, and therefore, I was going to pray and apply to you that the combined effect of Order 97, 1 to 6, the combined effect of Order 97, 1 to 6, Mr. Speaker, respectfully, I was going to pray that this laying be overruled and this laying be rejected because, Mr. Speaker, I have the various components the minister has submitted to this House as being the fundamental terms of the agreement between the same two parties, Mr. Speaker, fundamentally not different. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, what applied to that agreement in the 8th Parliament, which fortunately was the same Speaker in the chair, and which culminated in the rejection of the attempt to lay that agreement, Mr. Speaker, same should apply. Mr. Speaker, I conclude by just asking a simple question, and I want to believe that we will get into this matter in a much more detail. Mr. Speaker, the fundamental question which the average Ghanaian will ask, Mr. Speaker, is that what has changed? What has changed? What has changed? What has changed? What has changed between the agreement between the government of Ghana and Barari DV and the terms of the agreement between the government of Ghana and Barari DV in 2025. Mr. Speaker, I conclude. Mr. Speaker, I conclude, Mr. Speaker. I conclude by submitting, Mr. Speaker. I conclude by submitting that the position you took in the 8th Parliament was for the good of Ghana. Lithium is a rare resource. Lithium is the mineral of the future, as the experts say. Lithium, indeed, Mr. Speaker, is the foundation of the current effort of green transition. Lithium, Mr. Speaker, is the bedrock that the world is attempting to use to fight climate change. And so when the Speaker insisted that Ghana should get the full benefit of the exploitation of our mineral resources, one could not disagree with you. But the question today is that 2025, Mr. Speaker, what has changed? What has changed? What has changed? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable members, please, let's tolerate each other. Let's listen to each other in silence. Majority Leader.
First and foremost, Mr. Speaker, the Honorable Abu Jinapo got his facts wrong. You were the minister responsible for the sector at that time. You brought the agreement, laid it. It was referred to the committee. And my recollection is that it never came back to the floor of the House. So you cannot say that this House rejected it. This House did not reject the agreement. This House did not. The records of this House will bear me out. That you brought it here, yes. There was a lot of public interest in the matter. It was referred to committee, but it never got back to the plenary for us to consider. So it is not the case that the agreement was rejected by Parliament. If you recall, that Parliament, the last few months of that Parliament was plagued with litigation, injunction after injunction. The great Afenyo Makin, the Osahene, and the question of whether he was minority leader or majority leader, and whether his side was a majority or minority, rendered this Parliament ineffective because we had injunctions, were in court, and so we never dealt with so many matters that were pending. It wasn't because the House considered it and rejected it. So the life of the Parliament ended without the matter being considered. And normally, matters that come before us and the life of the Parliament ends without the matters being concluded, usually we bring them back and start afresh. I believe it is in the spirit of this practice that you have asked that we should start afresh the LGBTQ bill. The same thing. That is why this is coming back. And secondly, what has changed? Our sitting places have changed. Our sitting places have changed. And more importantly, Ghanaians trust him with the management of the natural resources of this country. They trust him. That's why they removed the NPP and they brought the NDC, and the NDC has proposed him as a minister to handle it, and he has brought it back to this House. So, Mr. Speaker, I don't think that we should split hairs because it has been referred to a committee. You are members of the committee. Committee deliberations And I'm encouraging committee deliberations to be transparent. And at committee, you can raise all the issues. Reports will be brought back to plenary. We will debate the key components that you are concerned about. You will have an opportunity to debate those key components. And then we'll take the vote. We'll take the vote. And definitely, when we take the vote, the majority will speak. The majority will speak. So I don't think there's any issue, and I don't really think that, you are complying with any of our orders, because there's nothing in our orders that permit you to do what you have just done. Mr. Speaker, I think we should proceed.
Yes, Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, thank you. My respected colleague opposite me made references to me on certain matters. I feel obliged to respond, and I thank you for giving me the space to respond. Mr. Speaker, I think, first of all, he also got his facts wrong. If he argues that that agreement never came back to this House, he's wrong. At least I was a majority leader, so I'm able to put things in the right context. Mr. Speaker, with respect, when the Honorable Minister of Lands and Natural Resources, Abu Jinapo, as he then was, appeared before the committee, our friends in the NDC held a press conference to register their opposition to the agreement in its entirety. So it's the reason he asked what has changed. Now, Mr. Speaker, the leader of government business should have called me that respect I always give him. I'm always quiet whenever he's speaking, because I know that I have the content in me, so I don't need to rush. Mr. Speaker, if you prepare to come into this chamber, you fear no evil. Even if I'm given 1 minute, I will speak on the matter that I prepared for. So he should allow me, so that the two of us can show a good example to our followers. Mr. Speaker, I was a leader of government business, and the attempt to lay the paper, I'm happy the Deputy Minority Leader, Ama Kofi Boa, as he then was, is right here in this chamber. Mr. Speaker, he and his colleagues denied us the opportunity to lay this paper, that they won't allow. In fact, Mr. Speaker, Honorable Kwame Agboja, to quote him, right here, Mr. Speaker, I was here begging him. He said, quote, "There will be chaos in this chamber." I have the hands up. Those were his words, that there will be chaos if we attempt to lay it. Today, you have brought this agreement in your own words. In your own words. In your own words. You said the prices have gone down. Mr. Speaker, this agreement in its current state is worse than before. Royalties have lowered. And if the majority leader's only response is that the change is because you are now in majority. So, Mr. Speaker, where is the principle? If yesterday you told the people of Ghana that a particular agreement in its form and shape was not good for the good of the country, today you say the mere fact that you are in majority, you have numbers, you will bring the same agreement in its worst situation, and you pass it. Then because you have super majority, you will pass it. Mr. Speaker, all of a sudden, our friends opposite have forgotten their own principle requiring pre-laying. Mr. Speaker, in the 8th Parliament, our friends introduced a new system of practice called pre-laying, that if there is no pre-laying, we cannot. And they emphasize that important documents must be pre-laid, and pre-laying to them meant that leadership must have the matter deliberated extensively for a consensus to be built before. And Mr. Speaker may recall that on the matters of tax waiver, they argued strongly that we should do pre-laying, discuss it before we even lay it. Mr. Speaker, that is what they did. But you know, I have told you, and I'll repeat, that thing called posterity. Today, the rules are being interpreted. Honorable Ayariga is introducing new jurisprudence. I will take them. I will not be paying at all. Me, I will not be emotional on it. Whenever I'm arrested, I'll say, yes, sir. But you will be haunted by your own deeds. You told the people of Ghana that the lithium agreement was bad. Today, as at that time, so the same thing. You have not changed anything, no? The same agreement. You have not changed a word. You have brought the same agreement. Mr. Speaker, the agreement that you say it was bad, when it was under Akufo-Addo government, you said the agreement was bad. Today, even when the royalties have been lowered, and the royalties have been lowered, you are bringing it. When prices have gone down, you are now bringing it, claiming that you have super majority. You use your numbers to pass it. Mr. Speaker, we want to be guided by principle. Mr. Speaker, we want to be guided by principle and remind our colleagues that it is only fair to be consistent, to remain firm on a matter that you believe strongly that it is good or wrong. Mr. Speaker, today, if the majority, because they are in power, they have found it convenient to reintroduce a very agreement they rejected.
Minority leader, please.
I'm sorry.
Please.
I'm sorry. Mr. Speaker, let us up our game.
Please. Minority leader.
Oh, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, with respect, Mr. Speaker, please, I will not disrespect you.
Yes,
if you want me to resume my seat,
you were in full flight.
If you want me to resume my seat, I will.
Please
I will always yield to you.
Please do.
Very well, Mr. Speaker, I will yield to you and listen to you.
Honorable members, sometimes you are in a haste. Sometimes you are in a haste to debate matters. In fact, what happened in the last parliament, I'm fully aware of what took place. And I can assure you, I'm as equally committed to this whole process and the agreement as I was in last parliament, because it deals with the minerals of this country, particularly a very important mineral which has a future, lithium. I had civil society leaders, experts in the subject matter, giving me copious brief on this matter, the lease agreement. That was why I expressed my views about Parliament taking a critical look at that lease agreement. So the agreement was not rejected. It was not rejected. But we're trying to put a process in place for Parliament to critically examine it and make sure that the right thing is done. That was what happened. But please, our rules are very clear. And you read 97(1), which says, whenever sufficient copies of a paper have been received in the office of the clerk for distribution to members, notice of the presentation of that paper may be placed on the order paper. And when the Speaker announces presentation of papers, the person laying the paper shall rise and bow to the chair, and the clerk shall read the title of the paper, and the paper shall be considered to have been laid on the table. That is the process. But you know, before we get to this stage, that paper would have been admitted by the Speaker. That paper would have gone through the clerk and to the business committee. The business committee would have scheduled it in the business statement. Then it will find space in the order paper. That is the process we go through before the laying. And so at the laying, when the Speaker really calls for the paper to be laid, it's automatic. The member is called upon to do what? To bow. The clerk is called upon to do what? To read. And then what happens? The paper shall be considered to have been laid on the table. And laying on the table means the table in front here. The clerks at the table. This is the table. So what happens is that after the bowing, the copy that is there, the title is read by the officers at the table, and it is placed there. That is the process. Now, I refer it to the relevant committee. I cannot, after it's laid, exercise a discretion to say no. I don't have that discretion. That is not the rule. It's after the report is submitted by the committee will go to consider it. The committee may come to say that, no, don't approve the motion, don't adopt it, don't approve whatever resolution, and the House will take the decision. The Speaker doesn't come in here. Please. And so I don't recall that lease agreement being rejected by the House. I know that there was insistence that there should be pre-laying, consideration, and all those things. But it was actually not presented and rejected by the House. That was not done. Yes. So now it's being brought. We are referring to the relevant committee. Every member is allowed to visit and attend the committee meetings, make contribution, come to the floor here. When the report is presented, you can disagree with the committee or agree. At the end of the day, we take the decision. That is it. But I'm very passionate about the agreements we sign concerning minerals in this country. And the brief that I have, I'll be very critical on whatever lease agreement comes here. My critique will be to guide the House, nothing but that, because I don't take the decision. I will critique it to guide the House, and that is all. So please, you don't have anything to fear. I still have all the material that was given to me by people who have been in the industry for donkey years. So don't worry, we'll present all and then the decision will be taken. And people in government are aware when they take the wrong decision, the effect on the government is usually very telling when the people disagree with it. So I'm sure that after changing positions, where the right, the left of the Speaker many times now, you all understand the situation. And let's always agree that is the national interest that prevails, not a party interest. Yes, Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the ruling, except to correct some misrepresentation made by the Minority Leader. He said that this agreement is one in which the royalties have been reduced, and he's put that out, and that is not true. Mr. Speaker, the royalties have not been reduced. The royalties have been pegged to the price of lithium. So when lithium prices go up, royalties will also go up. When lithium prices come down, royalties will also come down.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker.
Majority Leader.
Yes.
Please, we will get there. The report will come to the House and we will debate it. Please, Honorable Member, hold your cool. Let them bring the report. We will debate it. That is why I'm here to protect you. So don't worry. I will protect you as a minority. I will never allow them to bully you. Please, let's hold on. Let the committee consider and report to the House. Honorable members, let's take item 9D. By the chairman of the committee, 9D, Roman 1, Roman 2, and Roman 3. Yes, Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, the chairman of the committee is not immediately available, so the vice chairman, with your indulgence, I'm requesting that you allow him to lay the report.
Are you on the issue he has raised, or let's complete what he just said?
No, Speaker,
he wants the vice chairman to lay this report.
Speaker, before that laying, I tried to, with respect, catch your attention.
I'll come back to you. Let's finish with that one. Yes.
Reports of the Finance Committee on the Ghana Deposit Protection Amendment Bill 2025. Reports of the Finance Committee on the 2024 Annual Report on the Petroleum Funds. Reports of the Finance Committee on the 2024 Annual Public Debt Report.
Honorable members, the three reports are accordingly referred to the Finance Committee for consideration and report to the House. Yes, Minority Chief Whip.
Speaker, if you may indulge me, earlier on I tried to catch your attention on the referral on the mining lease agreement. Speaker, I humbly want to suggest that we add, it's on mining. And Speaker, in this country, we all witness the devastation on the environment in terms of mining and its effects on water bodies and all that. I wish we could add at least the leadership of the Committee on Environment. Because the referral was done to the Lands Committee. If we could rope in just the leadership of the Committee of Environment, Science and Technology, I think it will not be out of place. So I humbly suggest.
Yes, Majority Leaders.
Mr. Speaker, I think that the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources is now acting as Minister for Environment. And so it would be good that these matters will also consider it at that level. So let's add the leadership of the Environment Committee to just to give an indication that we are taking the issues of environment in mining very seriously as a House. And so we want the leadership to be part of it, to scrutinize the environmental issues so that we do not create problems. So, Mr. Speaker, I agree with him, and we can add the leadership of the Environment Committee.
Honorable members, I so direct the leadership of the Committee on Environment, Science and Technology to join the Committee of Lands and Forestry to consider the referral and report to the House. I so direct. Honorable members,
Mr. Speaker,
Yes.
the committee is Lands and Natural Resources, not Forestry.
Have we changed the title? Sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Your committee
It's now.
is now Lands and Natural Resources.
Sorry. Honorable members, correction to the title, not lands and forestry as before, it's now lands and natural resources. That is what has changed. Yes. Sometimes it's interesting to get humor in this matter. Yes. Should we proceed to questions now?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, we can take questions now. We can take questions.
Honorable members, item 7, questions. The first question, question 211, stands in the name of Professor Kingsley Nyako, the Member of Parliament for Kwadaso. Honorable member, you may ask your question now. Leaders, you don't want us to proceed?
No, Speaker, we wish we proceed. I was just trying to draw the attention of the Leader of the House. We had earlier agreed that because we have a budget presentation on Thursday, we want to have a prior discussion at the Committee of the Whole. And so the Minister of Finance has been noticed. And I wish to find out from the Majority Leader if we have a confirmation of the meeting or the engagement at the Committee of the Whole.
Majority Leader.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, I was waiting so that when you decide that you've had enough for the day and your deputy takes over, then I will now request for Committee of the Whole. I cannot request for Committee of the Whole sitting whilst you are in the chair.
Honorable members, clearly you are interested in the First Deputy Speaker taking over the chair. So I will yield to the First Deputy Speaker to take the chair. But be sure when you are having Committee of the Whole, I'll be present. Yes. Let's continue with the questions before he comes. He hasn't taken over yet. Or you want us to go straight to Committee of the Whole? So, honorable members, are you saying Committee of the Whole or closed sitting? Because Committee of the Whole is different from closed sitting.
Mr. Speaker, we'll take a closed sitting.
Closed sitting?
Yes.
So, honorable members, the House is to go into closed sitting now, and therefore, I'll have to call on the Marshal's Department to clear the gallery so that only members will be on the floor.
The government of the Republic of Ghana, represented by the Minister of Energy and Green Transition and Ghana National Petroleum Corporation, GNPC, GMPC Exploration and Production Company Limited, Exploroco, Gas Limited, Trace Development Production Operation in the Ghana Western Basin Block WBO1 in accordance with Article 268 of the 1992 Constitution, respectfully submitted. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable members, motion move any seconder.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to support the motion moved by my chairman. Mr. Speaker, this agreement is between the Republic of Ghana, represented by GMPC and Exproco, and then Tristar Upstream Limited. Mr. Speaker, this agreement is necessary for this House to support and ratify this agreement because as at now, the crude oil production in Ghana has been dwindling for some time now, which makes it necessary for us to support this. Mr. Speaker, this agreement is one of the most progressive agreements I've seen so far. Why do I say so? GMPC, on its part, aside the carried interest of 15%, 10% of royalties, and 35% income tax. Mr. Speaker, Exproco is getting 17.6% on the exploration level, and at the development and production level, they are getting 15%, with 5% for an indigenous Ghanaian company, which in this case, Mr. Speaker, it makes this agreement, as I said, a progressive one. Mr. Speaker, at the committee level, I raised a lot of issues, especially on environmental issues. And then GMPC assure us that a proper environmental impact assessment will be done because this oil production is on shallow waters. Mr. Speaker, I also raised a very big concern in the whole of Ghana concerning gas flaring. And this is the assurance given from GMPC that they will do their side. And this August House also has to try much as possible to make sure that we do the needful, especially to absorb the number of gas that are being produced on all our platforms before they will do their part to minimize the gas flaring, because we all know the impact on climate change with this gas flaring. So, Mr. Speaker, in conclusion, I urge this Honorable House to support this ratification between the Ghana government, represented by GMPC, Exproco, and Tristar Upstream Limited. Thank you.
Honourable members, motion moved and seconded, and the report of the committee also presented, and it is for the consideration of the House. Yes, Honourable Member.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. I rise to comment on the motion before us and to speak in support of it. Right Honourable Speaker, we are at a stage where, as a country, we need to prioritize energy security. And I'm very much happy that, Right Honourable Speaker, this exploration would help in that effect. Because, Right Honourable Speaker, currently we're doing much to ensure that our energy mix, we look at gas because of our drive to ensure that we limit the burning of fossil fuel, which in the end contributes to the climate issues. And Right Honourable Speaker, looking at the report, I am very much happy that a local Ghanaian company, Right Honourable Speaker, an indigenous Ghanaian company is holding about 5% of it. Right Honourable Speaker, we're talking about transfer, a technological transfer, where as Ghanaians we'll be able to position ourselves well when it comes to, and also after development we know the 50% that will come to us. And I believe at this point in time, Right Honourable Speaker, this is a good deal, and it couldn't have come at a better moment than now.
So I want to support it, and I pray that this House also endorses it for this agreement to go through. I thank you very much for the opportunity.
Yeah. Yes, Honorable Kobe Mensah.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise in support of the motion number 13, as stated in the order paper. Mr. Speaker, I take cue from the ranking member on the need to support this motion in particular. I'm particular about the issue of local content, because I believe that when Ghanaians get the opportunity, it is important we support them to participate. Unfortunately, this report does not give us the beneficial owners of ROC, which is the local company we are expecting to partner this project. Mr. Speaker, oftentimes, we've had the opportunity of selecting local content people or local participants. Unfortunately, they are not able to deliver. And I believe that this selection would ensure that for the first time, it will move from exploration all the way to production, and Ghanaian companies can really raise the money to participate and get the benefits, so the benefits can also stay in this country. Mr. Speaker, these days, we know that for a very long time, not until the time we had this Russian-Ukrainian war, a lot of financial institutions were drawing away or withdrawing from investing in hydrocarbons because they thought that it had environmental impact. Today, people are investing looking at the issues of ESG, environmental, social, and governance issues. And I believe that if we take the Western region in particular, recently people said we've been producing oil for a very long time, and they don't seem to see the effects on the daily lives of the people in the Western region. Mr. Speaker, I believe that this is one area we need to ensure that as part of the exploration, as part of the production methods that they'll bring on board, local communities will see the real prosperity that they were told that oil will bring to this country. Yes, oil has been able to do so much for us. I mean, free education was funded by oil. A lot of infrastructure has been funded by oil. But I believe that it is time that we invest in the businesses, local businesses, so that local communities can generate wealth, and the wealth can be seen around and among the people within the areas of oil and gas production. Mr. Speaker, we know that apart from this one, which is in the shallow waters, very soon we are looking at the Votean Basin, and that will actually be on the land. And if we don't prepare well with the offshore issues, I believe that when we get onshore, we might have major difficulties we might not even be able to solve, like what has happened in Nigeria over some time. And I believe that we need not bring the case onto Ghana. We need to make sure that we get the best out of it, like the way people have gotten it in Calgary and other parts of the world, the North Sea and the rest. So, Mr. Speaker, I believe that if you look at the progressive nature of the tax system that has been aligned, if you look at the progressive carried interest arrangement that has been put in place, I believe that all of us need to support this, and let's take a good shot at it. And I believe that when the exploration is completed and production itself starts, we can add to our stocks, and Ghana can benefit more from the oil and gas industry as we have it. With this view, Mr. Speaker, I stand to support it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Yes, you have the floor.
Right, Honorable Speaker. I rise to support the motion moved by my chairman. Mr. Speaker, the committee examined the ownership structure and observed that during the exploration phase, TriStar holds 76.5%, Exploco holds 17.6%, and the state, through GMPC, holds 5.9% as carried interest. Upon discovery of oil, the carried interest of the state automatically increases to 15%, with corresponding reductions in the shares of the other parties. Right, Honorable Speaker, the committee found that this structure is consistent with industry practice, and it enables the state to benefit from production revenues without bearing exploration risk. However, members emphasize that future negotiations should aim to maximize Ghana's equity participation while maintaining a balance that keeps the investment environment attractive to foreign investors. I therefore urge the House to adopt this report.
Yes, you have the floor. Then from there, I'll come to leadership.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to comment on the report before this House concerning the petroleum agreement between the government of the Republic of Ghana, GMPC, and then TriStar for the exploration, development, and production operations in the Ghana Western Basin Block 1. Mr. Speaker, I've gone through the document, and I must say that over the years, Ghana has entered into a couple of petroleum agreements, and Ghana, over time, has also learned how to ensure that at the end of the day, the interests of the Ghanaian people are protected. Mr. Speaker, one of the key areas Ghanaians are interested in when it comes to petroleum agreements are in the areas of royalty payments, in the areas of protecting the Ghanaian interests in the area of taxation, amongst others. Mr. Speaker, if you go with me to page 8 of the report, paragraph 5.5, it states that the agreement is consistent with the Income Tax Act 2015 and other applicable fiscal laws guaranteeing equitable financial benefits to the state. Mr. Speaker, I believe that with the current income tax of about 35%, corporate tax of 35%, as in the Income Tax Act, as well as the royalty payment, I'm very happy that if this agreement, as approved by this House, will go a long way of protecting Ghanaian interests even after the exploration of oil. Mr. Speaker, without much ado, I want to call on colleagues of this House to support this agreement so that the government of Ghana becomes overall beneficiary. I thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity.
Yes, minority leader. Habib, don't tempt me.
Mr. Speaker, let me, in supporting this motion, commend the industry of our colleagues who were tasked to interrogate this important agreement. Mr. Speaker, I'm however constrained because of some important information that is missing in the report. Mr. Speaker, if you pay due regard to page 6 of the 13-page report, in particular paragraph 4.4, I quote, "It is worthy of note that with insight gathered over the years in relation to petroleum exploration, the Ministry of Energy and Green Transition has resolved to strategically position the Ghana National Petroleum Corporation and the GMPC Exploration and Production Company Limited, Exploco, to carry out exploration activities for the maximum benefit of Ghana. Currently, Ghana is positioned to explore in shallow waters. Furthermore, GMPC haven't sunk significant amount of funds in other endeavors with the interim required partnership with other parties for financial support." Mr. Speaker, this is a very profound statement. How much has GMPC sunk in other endeavors? If you look at page 9, figures have been provided. Data is supported. But, Mr. Speaker, for the National Assembly, made up of the people's representatives, to be told of certain expenditures, it is important that we know how much. And for what period? And for what particular purpose? So, Mr. Speaker, for me, the absence of this important information creates a challenge for me and for this house. Because this is a house of records, everything would be referred to tomorrow. We cannot talk about GMPC making commitments, spending monies without disclosures, because this is going into public records. So, Mr. Speaker, I would plead, if you would oblige me, and if chairman of the committee will oblige me, that we place this on ice temporarily. We have done this before, where we make amendment to the report. Or if it is immediately available and supported with the necessary data and documentation, same could be brought for us to consider. But to consider the report in its present form and shape will be a problem. Because this is what the report is saying, that there have been some expenditures. Where is that expenditure? How much? And for what purpose? Was there value for money? Etc., etc. Mr. Speaker, so I hold a view, Mr. Speaker, that the disclosure in paragraph 4.4 is a critical disclosure in the report. We cannot wish it away. All the good things that have been said, and I've read them, the advantages we stand to gain. And I heard my respected colleague, the ranking member, and then my own senior colleague, MP for Takrady, Honorable Kobina Dakumensa, Ochre Dakumensa. Mr. Speaker, he is well versed on these issues. We followed his exploits when we were not in this chamber, and they are seniors. I've heard his argument. I have nothing to say against that. My own respected ranking, very industrious, dutiful member of parliament, very hardworking. But there's one good reason why committee reports come into the plenary. For plenary to also further interrogate, as our elders say, Nyansa ni baku fotrim. To it, Mr. Speaker, wisdom, as the elders say, does not reside in one person. It is a collective that brings ideas so that that which is not perfect is made perfect. So, Mr. Speaker, I shall resume my seat without more, having drawn the House's attention to this very important information that is missing, of which, in my view, makes the report incomplete, and therefore pray that the Honorable Minister and my colleague, the Chair, would confer with ranking and produce documentation to support this. Mr. Speaker, I said without more, but just to add that I know the exploits of the minister who, as ranking on the other side, we know what he stood for. Mr. Speaker, what he stood for.
He stood for numbers.
He will always insist on the right thing being done. And he knows that this thing that we are doing is to support him. It helps his own ministry. I will not be able to make reference to his records in Hansard. But for the 8 years as ranking on energy, he really took issues and helped shape the policy direction in this area that we are discussing today. So, Mr. Speaker, let him make those documentations available, the purpose, how much, what period, and whether or not there has been value for money. Mr. Speaker, I resume my seat having made my point. Thank you so much for the sufficient space granted.
Thank you very much. Yes, Deputy Majority Leader.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise in support of this agreement. Mr. Speaker, the beauty of this agreement is that this is something that I believe started before, yes, before the new government came in. And it is being continued by this current administration. Government is a continuous concern, and things that are done that will benefit the country should definitely be continued as it's been done. And I would like to thank those who have worked on this, including the current administration, in bringing this to a fruitful, what I believe will be a fruitful conclusion. You can actually see the benefits that this agreement will have for this country to an extent that 15% will actually, come to the government of Ghana eventually. I'm quite surprised when the leader was talking. Leader said something about GNPC. Right, but my understanding is that the work plan of GNPC comes to this house together with all expenditures. So I am not quite sure. I am just... Leader, Mr. Speaker, leader, can you relax? Yes, so I just wanted to, I don't know where that is coming from, because as I said, if that is happening, then that is quite dangerous. When a work plan comes here and expenditure patterns also end up here before and after, then it's difficult to find out where some money will be spent without anyone knowing where that has gone. But I just want to commend, those who have worked on this, and that we are in the end going to have this, the Ghana Western Basin Block develop, and they will be able to get some production out of it for the benefit of this country. Mr. Speaker, with that, I thank you.
Thank you, honourable members. I'm minded, once the minister is here, I'm minded giving the minister some 2 minutes.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. Let me thank everybody for their commentary. I said to set just 2 issues straight. First of all, Mr. Speaker, this agreement predates me. I did not negotiate this agreement. All I'm doing is presenting an agreement I inherited to Parliament in accordance with law and the Constitution. 2, the minority leader talks about 4.4, and he places emphasis on this statement. Furthermore, GNPC, having sunk significant amounts of funds in other endeavors. So it's talking about other expenditure, not this very field. So my point is that this very agreement and other expenditures are not the same. That's 1. 2, every expenditure of GNPC, even before they spend, it comes to this house. Not even 1 cedi can be spent by the National Oil Company until this house approves their work program. After their work program, every year, when the year is ended, those expenditures are submitted to this house again for scrutiny over the years.
So when we say having spent on other endeavors over the years, and a petroleum agreement is presented, and I'm told that what is before Parliament, which is public record, in terms of pre-approval and post-approval, I should go and submit it again before this agreement is passed. I want to appeal to the minority leader. Please, I beg you. I beg you. I know you want transparency, and I support that. But in these very circumstances, I do not see how the two commingle, and even the information you are asking for is readily available here, because every year, like I said, the ranking member is here, the work program which carries all the estimates and what they want to do and the appropriation is approved here. And then at the end of the year, in line with this transparency, all the expenditures are submitted to this House again. Mr. Speaker, I want to thank everybody and appeal to the House to approve this agreement. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Minority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I'll give you the floor and urge on you
Very well.
that in view of the time.
Very well. Mr.
you should
Speaker,
be brief.
I'll be very brief. Mr. Speaker, we are dealing with language. This report was not authored by me. It is a report authored by our committee and being brought to us. For the avoidance of doubt and at the risk of being repetitive, hear the language one more time, Honorable Minister. It says, furthermore, GMPC having sunk a significant amount of funds in other endeavors. You see, if you invoke the generality rule that other endeavors, that is where the challenge is. You can't say that the mere fact that GMPC brings its annual work program for this House to approve, therefore, there should be that presumption of regularity that indeed what you are referring to is what is already before the House. No. Mr. Speaker, if that is a path the Honorable Minister is going, I'm afraid we may not be able to lend support to this. Yes, I mean, I'm not litigating this, but this is a legitimate concern. Perhaps the minister may want to say something else, and I'm happy he says that my desire for transparency is appreciated. Thank you for that. But what I am asking is not about demanding something without reason. And it is also inappropriate, Mr. Speaker, for my respected colleague, the minister, to say that he came to meet. Government is a continuum. And I'm sure because you are satisfied that what was done prior to your assumption of office was the right thing. This part of the report is talking about significant funds sunk. That's the word, it's not mine. In order, so what I'm saying is that what were the other endeavors you are referring to? Can you specify the other endeavors? Mr. Speaker, we are talking about particulars. You may say that you can furnish us at a later date. I don't mind. But, Mr. Speaker, I want public records to capture.
That you promised me.
Very well, Mr. Speaker, I'm landing. I want public records to capture these concerns. And I need your commitment that these other endeavors, the specifics will be provided. Because it's in your domain. Maybe the committee even has a document, but can produce it at a later date. Mr. Speaker, this House, at least with that assurance, can support. So maybe let's give the minister the chance. Mr. Speaker, we cannot, without assurance, presume that because we approve annual work program of GMPC, the report saying that other endeavors, we should accept other endeavors. What are those endeavors? But if he assures us that with respect, he will be able to provide the details of those other things that expenditures were made, of which reference is being made as other endeavors, that's fine, Mr. Speaker. They will be fine with me.
Yes,
Mr.
not
Speaker,
beyond 2 minutes.
Let me assure the minority leader that I take his cue and that
I would provide the information. And so I'm happy that he says that he will support it if I provide that assurance. I'll provide that assurance. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, this is leadership.
Yes.
This is leadership,
Yes.
and I appreciate that.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker.
Thank you.
The essence of our work is to get things done right.
Yes.
And
So,
I'm saying, for public records, that assurance that those further and better particulars will be provided is leadership, and I appreciate that.
it's gone into the records.
Mr. Speaker, I'm saying that is leadership.
Let your fears be.
And I take your word for that.
Let's allay your fears.
Mr. Speaker, without more, I support it then.
Thank you. Honourable members, at the conclusion of the debate, the question is, as many as are in favor of the motion number 13 on today's order paper, say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. The motion is accordingly adopted. Honourable members, item number 14.
Mr. Speaker, before we go into other matters, it is 8:32. If the clock is I'm seeing rightly 8:32, 8:31, 8:32. Mr. Speaker, the murmuring from the backbench is that the Minister of Energy and Green Transition comes in and goes out. That is the murmuring.
I believe the minister understood your language. So item number 14, and in no time it will be done. Minister for Energy and Green Transition. It's at page 6 of today's order paper. Item numbered 14.
Mr. Speaker,
Consequential resolution.
I rise to move that the item numbered 14 on the order paper be taken and approved by this House. Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker.
Honourable members, the motion has been moved. Any seconder?
Mr. Speaker, I rise to support the motion. Thank you.
Honourable members, motion moved and seconded, and it is for the consideration of the House. Honourable members, this is a consequential resolution. As many as are in favor of the resolution being adopted, say aye. Those against say no. Honourable members, the resolution numbered 14 at page 6 of today's order paper is accordingly adopted. Yes, Deputy Majority Leader. Yes, Deputy Majority Leader, we are in your hands.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. There are a few questions here that stand to the name of the minister, and I think he wants to proceed by answering the questions. Thank you. So,
Yes, Honorable Habib.
Mr. Speaker, we don't have a problem with the minister responding to the question, but considering the time, Mr. Speaker, if you can regulate it, because if we elect to say we should postpone it, we have already postponed other questions for today. But he has about 9 or 10 questions. So if you can regulate the follow-up questions so that we can speed up. The supplementary questions.
So do we give room to one follow-up question?
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, I think we are
and
in
limit same to the questioner.
Yes, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the questioner shall exercise his right within the orders, but any other thing should just be one, from one person and nothing more.
Very well.
Mr. Speaker, and when we do this, you know, the minister is my former friend. Sometimes he has been here for very long. And you know, his brother is my friend, but he's my former friend. So when we are doing some of this, it's not because of you, it's because your brother is here.
As for me, they are both my friends. Item number 7. Question time. Question number 211, standing in the name of Professor Kingsley Nyako. Subject to the terms agreed upon, you have the floor.
And which terms are?
You have listened to the Deputy Whip.
I didn't hear what he said, Mr. Speaker.
Please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, kindly permit me to ask the Minister for Energy and Green Transition the specific reforms the ministry is undertaking to address the structural inefficiencies at the Electricity Company of Ghana, particularly in respect of high distribution and consumption losses. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Sorry, it should be, there made a mistake, distribution and commercial losses, not consumption, as it is stated here. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. The losses are generally described as aggregate technical, collection, and commercial losses, A, T, C, and C. Mr. Speaker, we've been implementing a series of reforms since assuming office in order to streamline activities and procurement practices within the ECG operational area. First of all, what we have done is to realign their procurement needs and to insist as minister that the ECG management strictly adheres to the approval of budget ceilings by the board. And we've made it clear that we would not tolerate a situation where management awards contracts outside the remit of the board. Secondly, we've done a needs assessment. Today, ECG has cables that will last 15 years, and yet they do not have transformers. And so we've realigned their procurement priority to ensure that they really procure what they need. The ECG management under Engineer Kwekwena has terminated 202 contracts so far. These are contracts that we didn't find them credible in accordance with law. Also, we've implemented a policy where all government agencies, except critical agencies, are put on prepayment meters. Containers that were locked at the ports, we've cleared 1,500 thereabout. We have another 1,000 or so to clear. We're working on that. And then we've ensured that we give them the necessary support, both cabinet and including parliament, to be able to go after the monies. And so far, their revenues are improving. This has led to some significant improvement in revenue collection, in technical losses, and in the general performance of ECG. And by the end of the year, we would see that their procurement is far, far different from what persisted some years ago. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Kingsley Nyako.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much for indulging me, and thanks for the responses from the Minister. Mr. Speaker, under reduction of technical and commercial losses, on the second sentence, Minister indicates that they are upgrading obsolete low-tension lines to low-tension area bundle cables so that they could reduce the technical losses. I'd like to find out from him the status of this intervention that the ministry has put in place to reduce the technical losses. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. When we assumed office, a lot of the cables and transformers were obsolete. And so what we did was to immediately procure 200 transformers and inject new cables to replace obsolete cables. Mr. Speaker, if you recall, I had to appear before this House during the initial stages of my office to answer to so many questions about erratic power supply, particularly within the Kumasi enclave. As we speak, we've injected a brand new substation in Kumasi. We've upgraded the cables, and you can testify that compared to the initial months, the situation has improved significantly. Thank you very much.
Mr. Speaker, in the response provided, Minister has also indicated that there are targeted revenue protection programs that are being rolled out to strengthen ECG's commercial operations. I would like to know from him how the targeted revenue protection programs are performing. Revenue protection programs, how are they performing? Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, what we do is that, for instance, now if you want to procure ECG credit, you virtually cannot do that on cash basis. So we reduce the human interface. It's done on an app, it's done online, and it's real time. As minister, I can go into the system and see for myself real time how much is collected and how much they are projected to collect. What we are also doing is that we are ensuring that the cash waterfall mechanism is strictly adhered to, so that in accordance with the proportions and the pro rata basis that we approved, everybody gets what is due him or her. This week, I'm setting a committee to review all these revenue assurance contracts ECG has signed. And if we find some not fit for purpose, we'll either review them, reduce the rates, or terminate them. Most of the revenue assurance contracts that we inherited, we've renegotiated them and reduced the rates. Those who were charging like 4%, 5%, we've brought it down to about 2.5%. Finally, we've further renegotiated with the IPPs and reduced the amounts they collect significantly. And so when you put all this together, it leads to huge, significant savings for the state. Thank you.
Let's become my last question on this. So, Minister has also indicated that the ministry is installing prepaid meters for non-strategic ministry departments and agencies. I think that is a good intervention. However, I would like to find out from him the progress being made on this intervention and how much is the cost involved in installing the prepaid meters in these non-strategic ministries.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you.
Honorable members, the question can be asked without necessarily repeating the answer of the minister.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, if you permit me, I would contact ECG and get the exact fine details in terms of the costing, because it's an ongoing process, and I did not anticipate that you asked for the cost. You're asking for a specific amount in terms of how much it costs, and I'll need to determine that consulting ECG for the figures. And so, Mr. Speaker, if you permit me, once you give me some timelines, I'll provide that to this House. Thank you very much.
Yes, the ranking member on energy.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to find out from the minister that both technical and commercial losses are being paid in the tariffs built up by consumers, and if there are proper mechanism in place to rectify them. Why is it that PURC are meeting people, stakeholders, to try and increase the tariff?
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Yes, because it's not entirely the case that all the technical losses are absorbed by consumers. If you were to do that, then you would breed and encourage indiscipline and inefficiency. They are given certain benchmark and certain targets, and the tariff takes those benchmarks and targets into account. And so if ECG misses those benchmarks and targets, it goes against ECG. And if they were a private company, it means that there have been real penal measures from either their directors or stakeholders. And that is where we are going to. So even as we increase tariffs, we ensure that those tariffs are linked to performance and improvements and targets that we set for them. Thank you very much.
Yes, we move to question number 303, also standing in the name of Professor Kingsley Nyako.
Speaker, I would like to ask the Minister for Energy and Green Transition the specific interventions the ministry has taken to reduce the inefficiencies in the power distribution subsector of the ministry. Thank you.
Honorable Kingsley Nyako, it appears these two questions are the same, or is
They are
there a
not the
difference?
same. If
Very well. Honorable Minister.
Same,
Very well. Honorable
have you
Minister,
provided answers
you have
for
the
them?
floor.
They are not
Let's
the
hear
same.
you. If it is the same, tell us it's the same.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Distribution sector. Yes, the distribution sector represents a key component in the entire value chain, because if the distribution sector does not function well, it has a cascading effect. And so, first of all, what we are doing is to set targets for the distribution sector. I've signed agreements with the chief executives, and we are holding them by that. We've set revenue targets for them, and if you recall, ECG recently posted a revenue achievement of 1.7 billion. We've served some procurement targets for them and indicated that as much as possible, they should conduct competitive tendering, value for money, and ensure that the prices are competitive. We've set a target for them that under no circumstance should they procure more products when containers are stuck at the port. It's only when they're able to clear them that they do that. And then finally, we've set some losses targets for them, that they are supposed to reduce their technical losses. And so far, the indicators are that we are making significant progress. Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker.
Yes, you have the floor.
The first question was on UCG specifically.
Please.
And the second question
Honorable
is
Kingsley
on the power
Nyako, you are completely out of order.
Mr. Speaker,
I refer you to Standing Order 88-7. Please ask a supplementary question.
So, regarding the boundary metering, so far, 5 operational regions have commenced. It's left with 5. And the 5 include Ashanti West, Ashanti East, Ashanti
Honorable
South,
Kingsley
and Accra
Nyako,
East.
if you don't have a supplementary question, kindly resume your seat.
What I'm asking, I'm saying that in the response, he's provided boundary metering as
I
an
indicated that you can really ask a question without repeating the minister's response.
I'm not repeating anything.
Let's manage the time.
I'm not repeating anything. I'm saying that he has indicated that 5 regions have commenced the boundary metering. My question is that the outstanding 5, that includes Ashanti East, South and West, and Accra East, when are they going to see completion?
Yes, Minister, you have the floor.
Mr. Speaker, by the end of the year, we'll do a detailed assessment of the 5, so that when we achieve that target from January, we'll start with the remaining 5. Thank you.
Any further questions?
Yes, Mr. Speaker. So the ministry is supposed to install about 30,000 meters. So far, 3,249 have been done. I'd like to know from the minister the difference of 26,651. When are they going to be done?
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. As I speak, I've already sent a letter to the Minister of Finance for commencement authorization to procure the next batch of distribution transformer meters. And so once we get approval, we immediately commence procurement and we install them. Thank you.
My last follow-up question. The Minister, with these very good interventions that the ministry is implementing, will you be able to assure Ghanaians that there will be stability in electricity tariffs? With these interventions, will you be able to assure Ghanaians that
Honorable Minister, will you be able to assure Ghanaians? Yes.
Mr. Speaker,
Your answer, no repetition of this. We are managing time.
Mr. Speaker, with respect, you are not being fair to me.
Honorable
With
Minister,
respect, you
your
are not being
answer
fair
to the
me.
question.
And I'm not happy about our approach. I want to put on record.
Honorable Minister,
Mr.
your
Speaker,
answer.
what I seek to do is to ensure that there's stability in the supply of power. Today, as we speak, we've hit a new peak load of 4,080 megawatts. What it means is that you need more power in the form of thermal power because we've exhausted our hydro. And anytime you bring in thermal power, it means that the cost of production goes up. So I'll lead that for the PURC, which is responsible for tariff setting. Thank you very much.
Yes, honorable member.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the mass meter replacement and the boundary metering. In fact, the ministry mentioned that they are going to do 313,000. I want to find out the update on those numbers and what the ministry has been, the ECG has been able to do.
Yes, honorable minister.
Mr. Speaker, if I heard him right, he said 313,000. And Mr. Speaker, I see 30,000 distribution transformer metering. I don't see 313,000 distribution transformers.
Very well. We take that as an answer. We move to question number 37. Standing in the name of Dr. Ohini Kwame Frimpong, Asante Akim North.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. I'd like to find out from the Minister for Energy and Green Transition the cause of intermittent power outages and the low voltage experienced by the good people of Asante Achim North. Thank you.
Yes, honorable minister.
Mr. Speaker, the Juansa feeder, which serves as Achim North under the ECG Konongo districts, originates from the Konongo Primary School. The feeder spans 234 kilometers. And anytime you have such a long length or distance, when you transmit power from one end to the other, because of resistance, by the time it gets there, the potency of that power is very, very low. And that is what was resulting in the outages that you are talking about. As a result, the ECG has initiated a project involving the construction of a 33 kVA network from the Kumawu substation to Agogo. The civil works on the substations are approximately 85% complete, while electro-mechanical works are expected to commence soon. The required equipment has arrived and is currently undergoing clearance. When all this is done and commissioned, we will see significant improvement in terms of power delivery. Thank you.
Yes, honorable member, any supplementary question?
Yes, Right Honorable Speaker. So, given that the Juansa feeder spans roughly 234 kilometers and continue to cause persistent low voltage for the customers at the tail end.
Member, question. Ask a question.
Yes, please. So I would like to find out, please, from the minister. You know what?
Right Honourable Speaker, I must be honest, there's work ongoing in the constituency at the moment. So I think that it's fair. I'll take his answer. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. It's fine. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, in view of the minister's answer, I would like to know from him how the ministry intends to ensure restructuring of ECG's management framework to separate commercial operations from technical functions, so as to deal with this low voltage situation that is being referenced in this question, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Yes, you got to separate the commercial or collection from the technical. What we are seeking to do in accordance with our manifesto is to introduce private sector participants in the collection. So if you have an area, a concession, you'll be given a target, or you do bulk procurement of the power, post a bond, how you collect the money, that is your problem. So that we'll then focus on the technical aspect. And so we are in the process of going through that reform. We are procuring a transaction advisor, and very soon we'll make progress. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Minority Leader.
Thank you.
You set the ground rule.
Yes.
Or
Mr.
your
Speaker,
side set the ground rule before we started.
Oh, that is correct, but not for leadership. I'm just doing two.
The ground rule was set, including the leadership.
Oh, Mr. Speaker, that was not the impression created. But if that impression was created, then please.
So I'll give you the opportunity last.
Very well. That's okay. Thank you. I appreciate it. Mr. Speaker, in view of the minister's answer, may I know from him how the ministry is ensuring timely maintenance of distribution infrastructure to minimize this situation of low voltage as being experienced? Because, Mr. Speaker, without arguing, the main problem that all reports are bringing up is distribution losses.
Honorable.
No, Mr. Speaker, I said
member,
not to argue.
This is a constituency specific. It has to do with Asante Akim North. This is a constituency
Yes,
specific.
Mr. Speaker, it is talking about low voltage. It's directly linked to that. I asked, the question has to do with low voltage. And I'm saying that low voltage is as a result of imbalanced distribution. So my question to him is, how is the ministry ensuring
I said
timely
so
maintenance?
because mostly constituency specific questions we limit it to the constituency, particularly the period in which we are.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, that's
and
the one.
based on the ground rules.
Mr. Speaker, you gave the opportunity to just do this one. That's the question I'm asking. I'm not asking any more.
Very well.
Very well. Mr. Speaker, it's the minister's pleasure that I repeat the question. Mr. Speaker, I want to know from the minister what measures the ministry is taking in view of the low voltage concerns to ensure timely maintenance of distribution infrastructure to minimize this low voltage situation being experienced.
In Konongo, in Asante Achim.
Yes, that's a reference point.
So, Minister,
Mr. Speaker, that's a reference
you have the
point.
floor.
Mr. Speaker, in relation to that, like I rightly said, we are injecting new feeders there. And my information is that by Q2 2026, that project will be completed. When it's completed, it will really stabilize the supply of power within that enclave. Thank you.
Yes, we'll move to question number 260, standing in the name of Nana, Honorable Nana Ose Ajay. new job enough. You have the
Mr.
floor.
Speaker, I have a question, but it looks like you jammed my question. 210.
Well, yes, you are right. Honorable Michael Kwesi Edu.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I would like to ask the Minister of Energy and Green Transitions why the government has not been able to meet the demand for power supply to households and industries.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, on the contrary, we are able to meet the nation's demand for power, and I can inform this House that for about 7 months now, continuous, we haven't had load shedding. So we have enough, and even though today, like I said, we've reached a new peak demand of 4,080 megawatts, we are still holding very tight. Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker.
Any supplementary?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, I would like to know from the Minister if there are any projects ongoing or in advanced planning which is expected to add additional capacity to our generation, and what are the timelines for completion?
Yes, Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We have about 3 main projects in the pipeline by VRA, by Senate, and by AXA. We expect that the AXA plant will come on stream in the first week, maximum second week of December. We expect that Q1, the VRA plant will come. We expect that Q2, the Senate plant will come on board. The combined effect of this plant is that we could potentially generate 500 additional megawatts. We are also working with AXA to bring on board 500 megawatts by second quarter 2027. Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker.
Yes, any further question?
Mr. Speaker, I also want to know if we owe any of our gas suppliers, taking into consideration the 1 cedi levy approved in this House, which generates about 450 million monthly. And
Honorable Member, look at the
do,
question that we have asked and relate it to the supplementary question that we are asking and see whether it emanates from the question.
Mr. Speaker,
if you are owing a supplier, what has it got to do?
I'm asking the question based on the answer given by the Minister from the order paper.
Where did the Minister stated he is owing?
Mr. Speaker, if you look at the answer, the Minister indicated from his answer that on paragraph 2, however, there are occasional interruptions in power supply caused by disturbances in the generation and transmission networks, temporary gas supply disruptions.
So what has it got to do with owing a supplier?
If there are temporary gas supply
Honorable Member, question is overruled. Ask another question.
That's why I'm asking whether we are owing any
question
of them.
Overruled. Ask another question.
Okay, Mr. Speaker, beyond the current gas supply agreements, what steps is the ministry taking to get reliable fuel supply, and what contingency arrangements are in place to maintain generation?
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Should there be a prolonged disruption to our main gas supply?
Mr. Speaker, when we assumed office, liquid fuels were the order of the day. Within this short period, we've been able to increase gas production by 50 SCF, 20 by our Jubilee partners, and 30 by ENI. That has significantly improved fuel supply, culminating in reliable supply of power. Going forward, we are working with ENI to bring on board additional 70 SCF. We are working with the Jubilee partners to bring on board another 70 SCF with a second gas processing plant, and we believe that if we're able to achieve those targets, we'll further improve power supply. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Yes, any last supplementary? Yes, Ranking Member.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, Minister, you said current generation capacity of 5.7 gigawatts. And then you said peak demand is 4 gigawatts. I don't understand. I just want to understand. You need to explain further. You said generation capacity or install capacity, because then what about if it's generation capacity? Then the difference.
Ranking Member.
The remaining one. What are we doing
You
with
have
it?
asked the question.
Yes.
Minister, answer.
Mr. Speaker, I said installed capacity. Your installed capacity can also be your potential generation capacity. On a daily basis, not all the plants function. That's why then you move to available capacity and dependable capacity. So you don't rate it just on generation capacity or installed capacity, but by what is readily available and producing. Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker.
Honourable members, let's move to question number 266, standing in the name of Nana Ose Ajay.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, respectfully, I rise to ask the Minister for Energy and Green Transition the steps the ministry is implementing to extend electricity to the people of Esioja near Esikesu in the New Jabe North constituency. Thank you.
Yes, Honourable Minister. Yes, that's the soldier.
Mr. Speaker, the Asoja community does not currently form part of our ongoing projects, but fortunately, the Minister of Finance has assured that in the 2026 budget, there will be adequate budgetary provision. I therefore want to assure my colleague that once the budget is approved, I would work on this community and capture it as part of the communities we intend to electrify. Thank you.
Yes, Honourable Member, any supplementary?
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I thank the Minister for the assurance. So I'll be looking up to the assurance given to the people of Esioja. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Member. This is a consensus-specific question. We'll move to question number 300, standing in the name of Honourable Maxwell Kwame Lukuto, South Tong.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would like to ask the Minister for Energy and Green Transition the plans of the Ministry for the continuous removal of water weeds in the Volta River, especially around the lower Volta Bridge at Sugakofe.
Honourable Minister, you have the floor.
Mr. Speaker, the VRA for over 3 decades now have been working every year to remove the weeds around and within these river bodies. Unfortunately, since we assumed office, we got to realize that most of the equipment were broken down. The cover C90, specifically designed to harvest, submerge, and floating aquatic vegetation, has a challenge. A schema which was generously provided by the Ghana Maritime Authority also has some problems. I've directed as minister that all these machines are repaired so they can commence work. My information is that work is ongoing, and by the end of the year, those machines should be ready to be deployed. Thank you.
Any further question?
Yes, sir, Mr. Speaker. Beyond the regular or routine waste removal, is there any plans from the ministry or the VRA? Have they already engaged private business people who are interested in using these weeds or converting them into organic fertilizer, paper, animal feed, and even wastewater treatment chemicals?
You have the floor.
Mr. Speaker, we've not considered that yet, but coming from the MP from the area, we'll be very much willing to partner with him to explore this option. Thank you.
No, let me.
No, Mr. Speaker, just to say thank you to the Minister.
Thank you very much. This is also a constituency-specific question. Question number 301, standing in the name of Abdul Fattah Al-Hassan, Member of Parliament for AND.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Right, Honourable
All
Speaker.
members are stated this is a constituency-specific question. Then question number 301.
Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
It's a national
Honourable member, I've indicated this has got to do with the Soka Kope. Yes. Abdul Fattah Al-Hassan, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I would like to ask the Minister for Energy and Green Transition the current state of the ongoing rural electrification projects in the following communities: Pasani, Warakpomo, Piang, Zakoyele, Osedu, Andoyele, and Kulpan. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable Minister, you have the floor.
Mr. Speaker, the communities that my colleague mentioned, in order not to spend too much time, forms part of the ongoing SHEP 4 program being implemented by the ministry. Some significant work has been achieved already, and the delay was mainly due to shortage of some key materials and equipment. But the good news is that the Ministry of Finance has granted approval, and we've commenced procurement of these key materials. Once we clear them and take delivery, I will dispatch the contractor to complete those communities. Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker.
Honourable member, any supplementary?
Mr. Speaker, that will be all for that question.
Thank you very much. This is also a constituency-specific. Question number 302, also standing in the name of Honourable Abdul Fattah Al-Hassan.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I wish to ask the Minister for Energy and Green Transition the state of the ongoing rural electrification projects in the following communities: Baduli, Palsoani, Nasarachiriyele, Jambongni, and Bumbong. Thank you so much.
Yes, Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, in respect of these communities, 54 poles have been supplied and planted at some of these communities. Conductor stringing has been completed at some of the communities. Most pole top accessories required for these locations have also been delivered. Mr. Speaker, to sum it up, like I said, the good news is that we have approval for commencement, and we are actively procuring the outstanding materials. And so just like the other communities that I mentioned, once we take delivery of the materials, we immediately proceed to site and complete these communities and hook them to the national grid. Thank you.
Honourable member, any supplementary question?
No, Mr. Speaker. No.
Thank you. We move to question number 305. Standing in the name of Abdul Fattah Al-Hassan, Member of Parliament for AND. Yes.
Mr. Speaker, I know there is ground rules on the question the member asks. But Mr. Speaker, I want you to indulge me because I'm a very good friend of Yendi, and I am the chief warrior of Yendi. So if you permit me, I just have a supplementary question for him, Mr. Speaker.
Very well. I will permit you one supplementary question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I just want to find out from the minister whether these are part of the projects that was awarded by the previous government, and when was it awarded?
Yes, Honourable Minister.
Just because some of these communities were even awarded before I left office. So you can imagine that it's taking very long. But like you said, the Yana is my paternal grandfather, and so I have a strong relationship in Yendi, and I will ensure that the communities are hooked on. Thank you.
Honourable members, we move to question number 305, also standing in the name of
Mr. Speaker, I rise to ask the Minister for Energy and Green Transition the current state of the rural electrification projects in the following communities: Sunsong, Patia, Nalo, Banchile 1 and 2, Kolpan, and Palsonando. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honourable Minister. 305.
Mr. Speaker, these communities have seen some significant improvement because of the 285 poles required, 198 have been planted. Of the 292 required for low voltage, 132 have also been planted, but we need some additional materials to complete these projects. We've awarded contracts. Contractors have started supplying these materials, and before the end of this year, contractors will move to site and commence work to complete the connection of these communities. Thank you.
Honourable Member, any supplementary question?
Mr. Speaker, no further question, but except I just want to commend the minister, especially with regards to the answers given. He has given specific timelines, especially with the fact that all the projects are expected to be completed by the end of second quarter 2026.
Honourable Member, thank you very much. We'll move to question number 306. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. But, Mr. Speaker, the minister must answer this question. He shouldn't dodge that the Yana is his uncle. I want to find out from you. You said what? Grandfather. Okay. Okay. The Yana is his grandfather. Mr. Speaker, my question is that the communities listed in the question, I would like to find out from the minister, when were they awarded and when will they be completed?
Yes, Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, like I said, some of these communities were awarded this as far back as 2016. In terms of completion of award, they will be completed before the second quarter of next year. Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker.
Honourable members, order. Question number 306, standing in the name of Thomas Winsome Anaba, Member of Parliament for Garu.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity. I rise to ask the Minister for Energy and Green Transition the measures the ministry is taking to resolve the rampant power fluctuation, low current, and frequent interruption of power supply to Garu and adjoining districts like Timpani, Nakpanduri. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, for some years now, the areas that my honourable colleague has mentioned has suffered some significant level of interruption of power. And Mr. Speaker, is due to one main factor. The line that is talking about is a 600-kilometer line, 600 kilometers. And like I said, if you are serving power on such a line over 600 kilometers with 402 distribution transformers, which traverses 5 districts, and the districts are listed, Mr. Speaker, for the avoidance of, to avoid wastage of time. I'm sure members can see that. But the most important thing is the solution. We are working to put in a new switching station at Gambaga to provide independent feeders for Bunkrugu, for Gambaga, and Garu, with the new source of supply from the Zebila bulk power supply point. In the interim, what we are doing is that we've stationed men there to continue to work on these transformers. But the solution is to put this feeder that we are talking about. We are going through the process. Once we put that feeder, we'll see significant improvement in the supply and delivery of power. Thank you.
Honourable Member, any supplementary question?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Minister, thank you very much for your answer. But I would like to know, how soon will these short-term measures that you have well elaborated and that would bring relief to the people, how soon will these short-term measures begin?
Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, we've outlined some few short-term measures: construction of an 8-kilometer line, network reconfiguration, creating of a bypass, installation of auto reclosers to provide fault segregation. And all this, we intend to do them in the 2026 fiscal year. Thank you.
Any further supplementary?
No more question. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank the Minister for the answers.
Thank you, too. Honourable members, question time is ended. We move to the next item, statement. Honourable Minister, you are duly discharged. We thank you very much for attending upon the House and providing answers to questions. Yes.
Mr. Speaker,
Honourable
I was
Abi.
just relating with the majority leader that, Mr. Speaker, it's past 9 p.m. We are tired. And for the statement, if we can postpone it till tomorrow.
Right. Honourable members, the application is to postpone the statement to tomorrow. What is the pleasure of the House? Yes, Majority Leader.
The indication is that members are tired. So, we're in your hands.
Very well.
Past 5 hours.
Honourable members, I think we've sat in excess of 5 hours. Therefore, I will stand on the relevant standing orders, particularly 156, and proceed to adjourn the House. Honourable members, the House is accordingly adjourned till Wednesday, the 12th day of November 2025 at 2 o'clock in the forenoon.